the Flagrant 2 effect on baseball.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. We should have done that earlier. Yeah.
And then we're going to get back to basketball. But we said on this very show,
We had a whole episode called Baseball is Dead.
baseball is dead.
Yeah.
And we explained the remedy for baseball. And the remedy for baseball was more violence.
Yes.
And we needed more violence. And what happened these last few weeks have looked like a fucking purge movie. Okay, every time I turn on ESPN, it's not some fat guy eating sunflower seeds.
Right.
It's some dorky pitcher throwing a ball, hitting a guy, the guy contemplating for a second, and then fucking brawl.
Yeah, I think that's what I like a lot about these fights, because you can tell a lot of them have been like, they usually do the, I'm gonna take this base, but I'm gonna see you next time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's how it always is. Like in years past, that's what it'd be like. Okay, we know you're not gonna fight. You're just gonna point at each other, and be like, oh, it's the integrity of the game, and yeah. Now they're just like, fuck that, throwing hands right now.
No
Listen,
non-smoking
Flagrant
section for baseball players.
Yeah,
Say
Them
no.
motherfuckers getting emphysema out here. They want the
Right.
smoke.
Hey, it's outside. You can smoke outside. That is facts. And you know what? I was thinking about baseball fights this week. I did a couple questions a day about it. But if you never saw the sport baseball,
Yeah.
right, and you just showed up at a baseball game and you saw a fight, I believe you would think this is where America keeps its retarded people. Okay? There's a rock is getting thrown at you, a solid rock is getting thrown at you 90 miles per hour.
Yeah.
On purpose, hits your body. You want to go fight the guy who threw that rock. And before you go fight him, you remove your helmet and then place your weapon on the ground. You have a bat that you could beat up this guy that could have concussed you. And you take that bat, you put it on the ground, you take the helmet, you put it on the ground, and then you go engage in a fight. And then the benches, when they clear, they're with all the equipment. They leave all the equipment. It could be some fucking
Look like fucking Mad
West
Max
Side Story or Mad Max, right?
They're snapping fingers like
It's Warriors come out to play, like, but they're leaving all the fun instruments on the side. They just go in the middle. They kind of like bundle up. You know, it's weird. They just zombie horde. Everybody's yelling, "Are we done? We're done, right? Okay."
Yeah.
And then we push it aside. It makes no fucking sense. And I guess you're like, we don't want to hurt somebody, dude. You can die if you get hit in the head with a pitch, right? Or it's like it can be very bad. It's just a peculiar way of dealing with a fight.
I feel like there's like, is it like assault if you bring the bat?
But shouldn't it be assault with the pitch? Like, you know how boxers have to register their hands?
Yeah.
Shouldn't a pitcher have to register?
I mean,
his,
if you
his
prove
throwing?
that, I guess if you can prove that it was like on purpose, like if you beat like 5 players in a row, like yeah. You
So
know
there's
what I mean?
no way to prove.
There's no way to
that's a
prove
good
that
point.
that the intent is
Very
is,
good
is,
point.
Is
It
on
is crazy
purpose.
when you throw at somebody's head.
Yeah.
That always
and
fucks
they,
with
and they
me.
be doing that
When
shit
you
too.
beat him in the shoulder or something, I'm like, all right, yeah, that's whatever. That
Yeah.
sucks. But when they throw high and fast at him and like at him, that's always like, yo, I know
it's
he's
like,
wearing
no,
a
he's trying
helmet,
to
but
kill you.
come the fuck on.
Like he's trying to kill you. Like,
Yeah.
you can die.
Easy.
You know what I mean? Like one hit, one little contusion in your head, and the blood is swelling. That's it. You're done.
I'm just saying, I'm not leaving that bat. Especially some of these pitchers are tall.
Word.
These pitchers are like 6'5".
Most pitches are tall.
And they got the mound. Like, you run. This is how you notice. This is how you know that, like, there's an advantage a little bit for the pitcher. Because they be mad confident when they're running up to the mound. And then all of a sudden, the mound got like a 3-foot advantage. So they be slowing down, like, all right, how am I going to traverse this one? This is a tricky one right here.
It's old Nolan Ryan, dude. Like, motherfucker
scooped him.
ran right into his fucking underarm. Like, gotcha, bitch. Just,
Greatest
all right.
moment in Rangers history.
Bro, that shit was beautiful. And when his hat got knocked off,
Yeah, because
he
they're
looked like
running
an
right
old
up the
cowboy.
hill.
And
like,
he was
it's
so
like-
old and country. It's just such a country, like, you know when your son tries to charge at you and there's some farm dad? That's exactly the type of
That old man strength.
Come on,
Like,
stupid. Get out.
I'm not
Get
gonna
out of here.
square up with you. I'm not gonna do the whole boxing shit. This is what we did in my day.
Yeah.
Just
Get this over with.
get this
I got
knuckle
places to
sandwich,
be,
sir.
yeah.
Get this knuckle sandwich, sir. Any
man.
thoughts about baseball and before we move back on to
Nah,
yeah,
props to them, man.
Yeah, man. Like we
Starting to
love
get it.
Flagrant 2 is all about the fun of sports.
Yes.
It's all this shit is a game. As much as serious as we may take it sometimes, at the end of the day, we're watching millionaires play games.
Yeah, hit bats and balls.
If you get hit with a pitch, go and fuck somebody up.
And we need it because we get so much, as basketball fans, we get so much not fighting.
Yes.
So many people charge them out and then look at each other, essentially,
Yeah.
and then turn around, and everybody gets in the way. Y'all went at it. And I remember, that was the Yankees-Red Sox game.
Yeah.
I think when I was watching the clip, some motherfucker tackled the batter who was trying to hit the pitcher. Somebody on the other team just came and just Superman tackled that dude. Just dope.
And that's the beauty of it, because it's like all these non-fights that haven't happened in the NBA, and like even in the NFL where people are just like hitting each other in the helmet and stuff like that, and nobody's really getting hurt. Guess what? These sports are infinitely more popular than baseball right now.
Yeah, and I think Andrew,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Trust the public.
Yeah.
Trust the market. If the market is telling you what we want, which
Yes.
is violence,
Violence and steroids. That's what we want.
Let's
we
go.
like steroids. We like violence. We like dingers. We like home runs.
I don't.
We like all that shit. That's as American as apple pie. Fights and home runs.
Yeah.
That's all we fucking like, dude.
I think Andrew might have said this last time, but here's the thing. Basketball, football, sports that a lot of us like. I'm not saying baseball's not popular, but it's exciting.
Yeah.
So even the almost fights in basketball suck, but like there's so much excitement around it, whatever.
right?
Baseball, there's not a lot of excitement. A home run lasts 3 seconds, and it happens every hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
You spend
Maybe.
If that.
4 times as long watching the guy trot the bases
Yeah.
as you do watching the actual home run.
They try to make you excited about a pitcher a game where nobody gets a hit.
And that's why NASCAR
like-
got crashes, because it's just fucking
Yeah,
driving around in a
like it.
circle
Something.
500
Yes.
times. The crash will hold my interest.
Exactly.
It's like,
They could
oh
crash.
man, it's like a no-hitter is happening. This is exciting. Like, no, it's not.
And exactly, it's not. It's suspenseful,
Yeah.
but it's not exciting.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Now, even in basketball, if it's like, all right, well, if they're not gonna fight, I know if they meet each other at the rim, like something's gonna happen.
Collision.
Well,
a
that's the
collision.
thing.
Somebody gets dunked on. Somebody gets
Basketball
hacked.
is an
Something.
inherently violent sport if you watch it.
Yeah.
Like a foul is almost an act of violence.
Part of the game.
right? Yeah.
Part of the game.
Like
Yeah.
a hard foul. Like I mean, yesterday Lance.
Stevenson, yo.
I think he should have been ejected for it.
Yeah.
I think he purposely hit. Yeah, Alex would disagree, but I think he purposely hit LeBron in his face.
Well, in the 80s, this is what we're talking about. This is
Yeah.
why there's so many almost fights now, because in the 80s, this is what you did.
Yeah.
That's
also,
a foul.
you also did coke.
Yeah, for sure.
And when you're on coke, like the entire league was in the 80s, you're going to be doing a lot more fighting.
Fair enough, but I'm just saying, like, back in the day, that was just a foul. Now it's a flagrant, and it should be a flagrant, but I
Right.
think flagrant won.
Yeah. Or
Um,
flagrant one, fine. But,
but
like, something, it was excessive.
But my point about baseball is you can have your NASCAR crashes, and none of us have the guilt of anyone dying.
Right.
Mhm.
I would be into baseball if they would just fight. Just clear
Just
the
let 'em
dugout every
fight.
once in a while. Not every
Fight,
game,
yeah,
but
like,
just
you
knowing
know.
that could happen, I'm in.
You got suspended
giving me
for
something.
a game. Like you play 162 games in a year. You could miss a game for some fisticuffs for the good of the game,
For sure.
dude. Like
Hockey don't need fights. It's fast enough. There's enough shit going
It
on.
does have
Yeah.
fights, though.
It does, but I think you take the hockey fights and you give those to baseball. We got a
yeah,
sport.
like even like I'm not even the biggest hockey fan, but I can appreciate a good hockey
Yeah.
game because it's intense. It's people
And the
getting
fights,
checked, and
the fights make it so the refs don't have to do anything.
that's true.
Ooh, interesting.
It's very
Right?
true.
It's like, I don't know if you've seen this, but there's funny videos. We should put them up. But there's videos of the players talking to the refs. There's no techs in
No,
hockey.
no. So they can
So
say
they
whatever the
treat
fuck they
the
want.
refs like ball boys. Like, they're just screaming. They're cursing at them. They're calling them, like...
They're just there to drop the puck and call
yeah.
the goals, man.
Yeah,
That's
they're
It's called
calling them bad
icing.
words for homosexuals a lot. A lot, bro.
Rhymes
It is
with rhymes with baggett.
Baggett, yes. Constantly throwing out baggots. Dude, and you're like, he's wearing stripes. How could you talk to a guy wearing stripes like that? But there's no tech because
Yeah.
you don't need them. The players police themselves because they're fighting.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay. That brings the fun back to baseball.
That's
man.
all we're
Like,
trying to do is bring the fun back into sports. Anytime
I think it
there's
started a
sport-
few years ago too, like those playoffs when it was like was it the Blue Jays and
Blue Jays and Rangers.
Rangers?
That was a regular season
oh
game.
my god!
Where
No, when dude got punched, but I'm talking about when they played each other in
Oh,
the playoffs the year
yeah,
before.
yeah,
Yeah, it was
When
fucking
fucking Jose
terrible.
Batista hits the home run and stares him down
threw
and
the bat.
tosses the bat.
A lot of
to, like,
Rangers fans are upset. That was great.
It was beautiful.
Of course he's going to throw the
It
bat.
was
It
beautiful.
was, I thought it was Astros against. There was Altuve against the.
They did that last
Blue
year. I think they
Jays.
had a lot
Blue
of...
Jays.
Yeah,
Astros,
yeah.
where the second baseman caught that Batista hooked off him.
Oh,
Batista.
yeah.
No,
and his fucking
that's-
helmet spun
Bang.
off of his
No,
eye.
that was Rangers Blue Jays regular season game.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a
That was
Rangers.
the year
Rangers,
after the
Rangers,
bat
Rangers.
toss. That was a
Yes.
receipt for the bat toss.
First of all,
let
toss the bat. I mean, like,
toss the fucking
if
bat.
you hit a home, you know, first of all,
Toss the
you
bat
know
on
how-
the double, dude. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't need a home run.
Toss the bat on a walk, fam. I don't care.
dude, hitting
Flip that shit into
hitting
the
a
third row.
baseball is, I think it's the hardest thing to do in sports.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
I don't think there's a harder thing, a single act in sports, than hitting a baseball. It's
I
my
don't
opinion.
know.
We can think on it. It's my
Okay.
opinion.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah,
single
yeah.
hardest thing to do it. The fact that you hit it and get on base is exciting. The fact that you hit that tiny little baseball going 90 miles per hour and moving, and you hit it 400 feet or 350 feet or whatever it is to get a home run, and then you can't just put the bat down whatever way you want.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. I mean, I would treat it like a fucking baton, like I was in a step choir or
Oh,
something.
you ever
like
watch
that. I'd be whipping that
Japanese
shit around.
baseball, dog?
What do they do?
They fucking like they encourage that shit.
Oh,
They
yeah,
toss
yeah,
the
yeah.
bit like they spin that shit like a top in there. Like they do not.
How
give
the
a
fuck- what kind of
I'd
fuck.
world
look like
is-
a kappa.
what
I'd just
kind
be doing fucking.
Be like one of Beyonce's performers, just tossing the bats like batons and shit.
step dance and shit. Get the whole dugout out. We'd have a choreographed dance.
What kind of world are we creating where we allow Japanese people to have more personality than us?
Exactly.
facts.
Exactly, dog.
need
Like
that.
they're getting their
Oh,
right over
Tani-san!
there.
That Japanese dude is killing it. That Otani guy.
Oh,
He pitches
man.
and hits.
Oh, so that's like the Japanese Babe Ruth,
Yo,
dog.
they got the best celebrations because they're not allowed to show emotion any other time. Right? So it's like they're quiet all day and then something miraculous happens. It's like, oh, Tani-san, this is great! Homarana! Tani-san. It's like, whoa, dude, did you have all that personality this whole time? We had no clue.
God, that is so dangerously racist. I'm not even.
It's not. Son, you never see them excited about shit, and then when they are excited, it goes crazy.
Yes,
Like, in
facts.
Americans, when we're excited about
We're
shit,
talking about the
we get
accent, not the
quiet.
idea.
Yeah, it wasn't the idea. It was
No,
the.
I spoke perfect Japanese.
I hope you did. I hope you did, because I don't know. I'm like sitting here. I'm like,
I
is he
spoke
saying
perfect
actual
Japanese,
words?
but Otani is the guy who is the.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got that.
yeah.
Otani-san. That
the
wasn't
name.
impressive. That
And then,
wasn't
the
Otani-san.
rest, and the rest was just grumbling. I wasn't speaking Japanese after
perfect
that.
Japanese.
Son, when Americans.
That's what makes it racist, because
Yo.
I don't know if it's real Japanese or not.
You gotta think about culture.
I'm
Culturally
like,
speaking, right? When some crazy shit happens in a movie like Independence Day, when the aliens come, right?
Yeah.
What happens to the American characters in the movie? What do, right? We get quiet. There's a guy who has a toothpick in his mouth. He opens his mouth slightly.
Michael
the
Bay
toothpick,
films.
exactly.
They got the slow motion
Slow
with the
motion.
sun rising and
Toothpick falls
like
out.
somebody's cup has water and
hits
the
the
water
ground.
is shaking.
Tickle, boom, 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 and they say something like, "Oh my god." We get quiet because we have tons of personality all the time. We're, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
So when some crazy shit happens, we get quiet, right?
Yeah.
Japanese film, something crazy happens. Where do they go? Godzilla-san!
Cass, don't hide your face when you laugh at it, fam. Let that shit, let the world see it. Damn, you gotta give it up for a good joke.
Man, that
Good.
shit was hilarious, though.
I'm telling you, man, it's a cultural thing. It's a cultural thing. We know about you, Japanese people. We know.
Adding the son the second time it really got me.
Godzilla-san. Godzilla-san. Dude, for real, man. That's all it is, bro. That's how it works, bro. That's how it works.
Oh my god. Can we-
You ain't wrong when you right.
In the words of Lil Duval, our Sinatra. You ain't wrong when you
ain't
right.
wrong when you right. Shouts to Duval, bro.